Hi guys, Alicia from Morning Hawk Creations. I know we don't normally talk about doing people portraits and specifically doing celebrity portraits, but this is a poignant topic that came up recently on Facebook with a bunch of artists and became quite the topic of conversation. Now, I don't do people typically, and I'm very rarely ever asked to do a memorial of a person. That having been said, 2016 has sucked. We have lost a lot of people who have influenced a lot of people around the world. Prince's music I grew up with as a kid. One of my first albums was Purple Rain. Glenn Frey was a core member of the Eagles. Again, I grew up with the Eagles. My dad is a huge fan of the Eagles. We lost David Bowie. Labyrinth is one of my very favorite movies. To this day, David Bowie will still be the Goblin King. We have also lost Carrie Fisher. And as much as it's great that they filmed the next movie, the writers are going to have to figure out how they're going to write out Princess Leia. She was one of my heroines growing up. I wasn't really a great big fan of Wonder Woman, but Princess Leia was a very strong female character and a very strong female archetype, and Carrie Fisher executed her character wonderfully. Her whole persona outside of the spotlight with her bipolar helped me kind of relate to my mom. My mom having been bipolar and having her be very hard to relate to, Carrie's bipolar kind of put bipolar and mental disorders in the spotlight and brought that kind of a forefront rather than just say, we don't talk about that, it's in the closet. And then of course we lost Demi Reynolds the day after Carrie Fisher died. We've also lost George Michael. Can't really say I was a huge fan of Wham when I was a kid, but when I was a teenager, the 80s album that he came out with, his first solo album, was one of the first albums that I had. That and Rattle and Hum from U2. So I have been listening to quite a few celebrities this week that have sadly passed away. The reason we're talking about dead celebrities and the reason they were talking about it on Facebook is, and has to do with artists exploiting these deaths and using the fame of these wildly successful celebrities in order to garnish attention to themselves and perhaps, merit some sales. So, in the field of celebrity deaths, I don't necessarily do celebrity art. In the summer, I was asked if I would be doing any gorilla art or if I was going to be drawing Harambe because of the whole incident at the zoo where Harambe was shot. I am not going to exploit a tragic event like the shooting of a gorilla, or a tragedy like the one that happened at the zoo, in order to garnish attention to myself or to merit a sale. Now we have somebody from the zoo or somebody who had gorillas near and dear to the heart and had a picture of Harambe, wanted a commission and wanted to commission one as a memorial. I would treat it as I would treat any of the other memorials that I am commissioned to do. And it is done with the tomb of respect and attuned with the motion of trying to help somebody who has a hurting heart. in order for them to move past the death of this creature. And I was a little annoyed because I got a lot of questions about whether or not I was going to suddenly pick up doing gorillas in order to get a couple of quick and easy sales. I wasn't going to do it. That's, to me, really pretty tasteless. I wasn't going to make a blog post about poor Harambe and here's some gorillas. To me, it was in really bad taste. There was no reason for me to suddenly pick up a whole bunch of gorilla shots from the Milwaukee Zoo, or the Brookfield Zoo, or the Columbus Zoo, or the Toledo Zoo, and suddenly say, oh look, it's Harambe. When I knew they weren't. So, I have some mixed feelings about artists who do that just to get easy sales. I think somewhere in there they have a need for making those sales, or they have a need to be affirmed as artists and get the compliments and the notoriety, and using the death of a celebrity, I think, just to get their name out there because that particular person is trending. I think maybe a little crass. I kind of personally think it's a little taboo. Now, that's not to say that every person that makes a portrait of a celebrity who has recently died is I've lost respect for them. I know several artists that just randomly draw celebrities or characters from movies in order to keep their talents, sharp. You kind of have to keep practicing in order to keep your talent sharp. And because some of these people are well known, it's easy to say for people all across the board to say, oh yeah, that really does, and oh, his eyes are a little bit off, or the anatomy doesn't quite look right, because people automatically know who that person is and what that person looks like. So you can get that instant feedback because they're widely, worldly renowned. In fact, I think one that went around several months ago is a friend of mine did the boys from Supernatural. She did Sam and Dean and Cass. And we all kind of joked about it. And her artwork was good. But it's not like she tried to sell it. She did it to keep her skills sharp. But artists that go online and scout the internet for decent pictures of celebrities, whether they're from People magazine or some news outlet or a screenshot from a movie, and then quick render out a similarity to make a sale after the death of a celebrity, for the whole point of garnishing attention and stealing attention away from honoring that in particular person and just garnishing a sale. I don't know that I would have as much respect for that person. You're basically riding on the coattails of somebody who spent their life doing something that they loved, and you're literally just riding on the hearse trying to get what you can. And that's not to say that everybody who does that. Some people are truly touched. Carrie Fisher's character, Princess Leia, was a huge pillar in my life when I was a kid growing up. She had a very strong alpha personality. She didn't take crap from anybody. She stood up for herself and she got her job done. And it hurts to know that after this upcoming Star Wars movie that they will have to figure out how to write Princess Leia out. It hurts to know that there won't be any more Eagles because Glenn Fry has passed away. Prince has not exactly been in the news in the last 10 years, but yeah, it sucked the day that we found Prince died, and it sucks even more that I couldn't get Pandora to play Purple Rain. I couldn't get YouTube to play Purple Rain. That's all I wanted to hear all day at work was Purple Rain. So it does, some of these people, when they pass away, it does trigger an emotion, and it does make us want to make a tribute. And that's totally different from somebody who's literally not connected to them. They haven't influenced their life, and they're literally riding on the coattails of their success in order to make a profit. And I have no respect for that. I really don't. So the other point that I want to bring up is that of copyright infringement. So here's the legal aspect of the problem of you going online, finding a great picture of one of these celebrities that have passed away, deciding you're going to render them, whether it's cathartic for you or you're looking to chase the ambulance, going to the hospital like a bloodthirsty lawyer, is that you're going to find out that those images aren't free. And they come with huge price tags, and they generally involve your reputation. So along with me thinking less of you personally for basically riding on the coattails of people who have influenced people around the world and making money off of their passing, which is, that's, I'm not gonna lie. But then for people that do that for the people that chase the hearse to the cemetery to sell friends and family these hand-drawn portraits, I hope a lawyer finds you. I really do. And I hope they sue you, and I hope you learn a really, really good lesson. And you learn to never do it again. Because you're stealing somebody else's work. Whether or not they're a paparazzi photographer or not, somebody bought those pictures. Unless you bought the rights to those pictures, you don't have the right to render those pictures, let alone sell copies of the artwork that you made off of that picture. So unless you're a paparazzi photographer, or you're sitting down the red carpet and you managed to snag that picture, which I really doubt you did, you don't get the rights to sell the artwork based on that picture. It's copyright infringement. Look it up. For those of you who are actually genuinely using your art to cathartically mourn people who have influenced your life, join you in the pain and mourning of their loss. "2016 sucked. 2015 sucks. When it comes to celebrities we've lost Robin Williams, we've lost Leonard Nimoy, we've lost Carrie Fisher, Richard Adams has passed away, and we will lose more in 2017. This is a cycle that never ends. And every year it's a little suckier. It depends on what circle you travel in and, you know, who happens to be on the ticket that year, but everybody loses somebody some year. So if you use your art cathartically to memorialize them, cathartically mourn them, I'm in total support of that. And I'm very sorry for your loss.